doing. And next week, we'll try to cover the question that makes or breaks beginner freelancer. How much should you actually charge? Welcome back to Abid Podcast. My name is Abid, and if you are listening to this episode, I already know something about you. You have probably you have probably sat across from a potential client on or sent up a proposal or been in a call where someone asked you, how much do you charge? You gave them a number, and somewhere in the back of your mind, you already knew the number was too low. You knew it. You sent it anyway. This episode is about what happens and, more importantly, how to stop it. Because here's what I have seen after 22 years in the corporate organization and 3 businesses I built it on the side. Pricing is not negotiation skill. It is not a sales technique. It is a belief system, and most freelancers and the beginners in consultancy are operating from the wrong one. And now, let me show you what I mean. The first mistake, and I made this one myself for longer than I would like to admit, charging by the hour. It feels safe, right? It feels safe, right? You know what your time is worth. You set a rate. You multiply the hours. Clean, transparent, and easy to justify. Here is the problem. The moment you charge by the hour, you are being paid for your time, not for your expertise. And those are not the same thing. Think about it this way. If it takes you 2 hours to solve a problem that would take your client's team 3 weeks to solve, why are you charging 2 hours? Your client is not paying you for 2 hours. Your client is paying you for 20 years of experience that led you to solve his problem in 2 hours. What others cannot solve in 3 weeks. The hour-based pricing model is fast way to commoditize your expertise because the client starts comparing your hourly rate to someone cheaper, and this is exactly what happened to me. In the training domain, whenever I have been approached by a company wanting to get my training services, always they ask the hourly rate, and I refuse to do so. Or I will price myself somewhere in the middle, between the higher and the lower, knowingly that they will find someone in the market willing to drop the price. This is a fact. And this has happened even in the freelancer domain. Copywriting, video editing, ghostwriting, and you name it. Someone will come and negotiate a lower price than you. And this is the problem. On this comparison, on an hourly base, you will always lose to someone with a lower standard. That's the problem. The fix is to stop selling hours and start selling outcomes. We will get into exactly how to do that, but first, mistake number 2. Mistake number 2, definitely you have seen it before. The people who have been in sales and marketing or dealt with offers and tenders, definitely you have seen that. And I want you to write it in the comment below. This mistake number 2 is more subtle than the others. Pricing based on what you think the client can afford. Before you charge anything, there is a voice in your head doing a mental math. I call it mental gymnastics. Oh, they are a small company. Oh, they probably cannot stretch too much budget-wise. They mention about budget constraints. I will go lower. I don't know. I don't want to scare them off a big number. This is what all the freelancers they have, or the startups they have faced it. Or even worse, you will say, oh, you know what? I will go lower so I can, fish a bigger project from them. In the comment section now, right? If you have been in this situation before. I'm sure a lot of you have been there. That voice is not being strategic. That voice is guessing. And it's almost guessing on the wrong direction. I want to shake you and say to go wake up. Here's what I have seen over and over in my last 20 years of experience in the commercial organization. The companies that say that they have a budget constraints, they are often the one with the most budget. They just spend it where they perceive value. And the one who looks like they can't afford anything are often the most price sensitive. And even they will drag you for more negotiation. You cannot tell what someone will pay by looking at them. You cannot tell by looking at their office. You cannot tell by looking at their LinkedIn company page. The only way to know what someone will pay is to find out what is the outcome is worth to them. And now I'm going to give you the exact question to ask to find that out in a few minutes. But first, mistake number 3. And this is the most expensive one. Mistake number 3 is about discounting before they even ask. Let me explain. This is what looks like in your mind when you are in a sales call. You decided to charge 5,000 dirham, dollars, whatever currency the country that you reside in for that project. You get in a sales call. And even before the client says anything about pricing, you have already decided it in your brain. If they push back, I will get into 3,500. If they really push, maybe I will push it to 2,800. At this moment, the client didn't say any word about the money yet, and you have already negotiated against yourself. Comment below if you have been in this situation before. I would like to hear from you and read from you. I want you guys to hear what actually happens in your brain. You are not being flexible. You are not being strategic. You are letting fear make decisions that should be made by data. This is the invisible ceiling I talk about, applied directly to the money. The ceiling does not just stop you from building something, it stops you from charging properly for what you have already built. The person on the other side of that call has not objected your price. You did. So, 3 mistakes: hourly pricing, assumption pricing, primitive discounting. All 3 have the same root cause. That root cause is what we are fixing next. Stick around. This is what I call the framework of value-based pricing. And before you jump and you say, oh, this is too technical, hold your horses. Let me explain. All 3 mistakes come from the same place. You are pricing yourself, not the outcome. When I said about that skill will have an outcome, that outcome, you price it, not yourself. The value-based pricing is not a new concept, but I want to show you what's actually look like in practice, not in theory. Here's the framework in 3 parts. Part 1, anchor to the outcome, not efforts. Before you give a number, you need to understand what solving this problem is actually worth to the client. In my previous episode, with the story of the HR consultant became consultant, that HR consultant who prevented 3 bad hires is saving the company somehow somewhere between 150k to 300k in recruitment fees, onboarding cost, and productivity loss. If he charges 5,000 for that engagement, this is not expensive. This is the best investment the client made this year. But he has to know that number exists before he can charge accordingly. Part 2, anchor to the market, not your comfort, because a lot of beginners, they will resign to go low on a comfort price, lower friction. I agree. However, what other people with your level of expertise charging for equivalent outcome in your market? You need to find out. You need to do research. Not the cheapest option, not the most expensive one, the professional middle of that market. For someone with your expertise and track record, you will find out the number is almost higher than what you are currently pricing. Part number 3, anchor it to confidence, not certainty. Let me explain. You will never feel completely certain that the price that you put or the price that you ask exactly right. Because certainty in pricing comes after the first 10 clients, not before that. The professionals who charge well are not more certain than you. They have simply decided to charge before certainty arrives. That is the framework. Anchor it to the outcome, anchor it to the market, anchor it to the confidence. Now, let me give you the exact words to use when someone asks you what you charge. Most people, when clients ask, how much do you charge, immediately give a number. That's a wrong move to a certain extent. Not because the number is wrong, because you don't have enough information yet. Let me explain. You are jumping on the phone call and immediately they are asking you for a pricing. If it's not an official tender or you do the pricing over the phone or sales call, you are tempted as a human being to give the price immediately. But I want you to get more information before you do so. I'm not asking you about the description of the project that you want to execute. I want you to ask the following question instead. Before you give the number, tell to your client, can I ask you, what would solving this problem be worth to your business? That's the question. Write it down again. You say, before I give you the number, can I ask you what solving this problem would be worth to your business in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? What happens when you ask this question is one out of three things. One, they gave you a number. That number is becoming your anchor. So your price should be somewhere below, but close enough that it feels like a bargain. A bargain is a human psychology. I mean, you cannot, especially in negotiation and projects, everybody will ask you for negotiating and pricing, or they will ask you for a bargain. So give them that. Number two, they say they don't know. Comment below. How many of you guys have heard your client saying that? I will read it. That's fine. You help them to figure out. I will tell you how. Ask them, okay, let's think about it together. If you don't solve this problem, what would the cost will be in the next 6 months, 3 months, depends on the project that you're doing. Number three, they will deflect. I have seen tons of times, and I'm sure most of you have heard that before. They will deflect by asking your number again. Now you have more information that you start. I'll tell you how. They are not willing to anchor first, which means they're expecting a negotiation, right? So what you do next? You go in higher than you planned. One question, three outcomes. All three now more valuable than giving a number cold like that. I want to close this episode with something that took me longer to understand than it should have. Pricing is not negotiation skill. It's not definitely a sales technique. It is not something you get better at by learning more scripts. Pricing is how to answer one question. What do I believe my expertise is worth? Not what the market said, not what your last client paid, definitely not what you are afraid to ask for. What do you believe it's worth? The professionals who charge well are not more experienced than you. They are not more talented. The only difference, they have been in the game longer than you. They have simply decided that their expertise has a price. They are no longer asking for permission to charge it. The decision is available to you right now, not after your next client, not when you feel more established. If you reach this far in this video, I recommend you to go and watch this video. 2 decades of loss taught me this about resilience. It will complete your cycle, building your resilience when you're negotiating for pricing and building the confidence to come into the market with a price tag that is not weak. Right now, if you want the full system, how to identify what to charge, what skill that you are capable to price, what skill that the market is requiring, how to present it, and how to handle most of the objection without discounting. In the 2 hours starter kit, I've laid down the basics of that to take you step by step to understand the concept. I will drop the link in the description below. And if you want to go deeper and build something more resilient, more clear to you, align your skills together, I recommend you to get the paid version of it, which is the 2 hour income bridge. I will put the link in the description, because the upcoming episode we are covering more and more in depth about topics that related to do what other mistakes that freelancer does related to invoicing after getting their first project and follow up, and what most people do wrong and cost them more than pricing ever did. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye for now.